Oscar Walters, and I'm wondering a lot about COVID-19. I live in Dr. Padma Venkatraman's home. Before she wrote all these books, she was a scientist. So I'm going to ask her my questions.
Please don't bother me, Oscar Walters. I've promised the Quelly Conference and SCBWI and VCBF and so many others that I'll be creating more virtual resources for teachers. And when I was in high school, a computer occupied a whole room in a house. So I've got years virtually to catch up on doing this sort of thing. Look up the CDC or WHO or NIH website or something. You know, the Centers for Disease Control or the World Health Organization or the National Institute of Health. Or go ask one of my old friends from Johns Hopkins. Or go fly that golden kite of yours for a while, and I'll tell you later when I'm not so busy.
Aw, but it's too rainy to fly a kite, and my fingers are sort of frozen, so I can't use the internet. Oh well, I can ask someone else. Hey, can you tell me why we have to stay 6 feet away from each other, and what's the stuff about flattening the curve, and why do some people call this the coronavirus? And slow down, I'll answer one question today.
This is a simplified model of how the coronavirus spreads. It is simplified because the first person could continue spreading the virus and they could infect more than 2 people. But let's pretend each person could only infect 2 more people. So the first person would go and rub their nose on these 2 other people. Then these 2 people would go and they would each wipe their nose on these 2 people's sleeves. Then these 4 people would each go and infect 2 new people each.
Achoo! Achoo!
And then these 8 people would each go and infect 16 new people, and they would, and then these 16 new people would go and they would each cough on these other new 32 people.
Or hug them or shake their hand.
I also made 2 graphs to show what the flattening of the curve means. On the x-axis there is the time in days, and on the y-axis there is the number of new people being infected. On the first day, there is 1 new person being infected. On the second day, there are 2 people. On the third day, there are 4 new people being infected. On the fourth day, there are 8 people. On the fifth day, there are 16. And on the sixth day, there are 32. Instead, let's say on the second day, instead of infecting 4 new people, just 2 new people were infected. And from then on, it's only 2 new people getting infected. This is the flattening of the curve. And because people are staying at home, the rate of infection is slowing down instead of growing exponentially. Even if the curve flattens, the total number of people infected is still growing. In the first case, as shown with the sea glass and the black dots on this graph, the growth is exponential and the curve is really steep. So on the 5th day, a total number of 31 people are infected. Instead, if we act responsibly and stay away from each other, wash our hands properly with soap and water, etc., so only 2 new people are being infected each day, then it will take 16 days for a total number of 31 people to be infected, like the purple crosses show. That means we have more than 3 times as long to prepare for what we need to properly take care of the 20% or whatever out of the 31 infected people who need to be looked after in the hospital. If you have any questions, please contact us at www.padmavenkatraman.com and we'll try to answer tomorrow.